Um, Hello to you, everyone who is listening to this video that I'm going to prepare. This video is for a group called Pache Peace in South Sudan. We can see here this group, Pache Peace in South Sudan. We created this group, Pache Peace in South Sudan, as group of students with my colleagues. Students here in one of the schools in Italy, where we are. It is a group that talks about peace in South Sudan. It's a group that promotes peace in South Sudan. Being a South Sudanese, I feel obliged to be with these guys and to talk about peace in South Sudan. Why? Because these are people who are concerned of peace in South Sudan. They are not South Sudanese. I'm the only South Sudanese. And these people speak of peace in South Sudan and all that. With this, I decided to be part of this group to talk about peace in South Sudan. In social media, in our Facebook, Pache Peace in South Sudan. In YouTube, Pache Peace in South Sudan. Now, we have our objectives. Our objectives about Pache Peace in South Sudan is as follows. One of the objectives is that to stop war in South Sudan. We have to stop war in South Sudan. Why? Because war has put us down completely. We have lost our relatives, our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, many, we lost them. Every family in South Sudan at least has lost a relative in this war that we had been undergoing. The struggle when we are with the North and when we are alone, killing ourselves. So this has affected the young generation so much. So this is one of our objectives, to talk about stop war in South Sudan. And then stop the killing of the people. Many people in South Sudan, they are killed, either because of the conflict that exists between the political leaders, or because of tribal classes, or because of cattle raiding, or because of, thieves and all those kind of things. So this mentality is one of the things that we are trying to advocate us to change, the idea of killing. Killing in South Sudan has become like something very simple. You can kill anytime, you do anything, and all that. So people have, become with this mentality of killing, and life goes on like that. So this is one of the objectives of the group, to stop killing in South Sudan, to talk about the badness of killing. The third one is about stop the raping of women. Our sisters, our mothers, many of them have been raped during the war. They have been raped, no justice have prevailed for them. And this is one of the things that this group advocate for, the liberty, for the rights of women. So you who is listening as a South Sudanese, or somebody who is not a South Sudanese but concerned of this, it will be very good for you to share this information. Another objective is to stop child abuse. Many children have been abused, their rights are not given, schools are not there, hospitals are not okay, roads are not okay. Children are suffering all over. Some are born during war, staying in the swamps. All the kinds of suffering for children in South Sudan. People who are outside in another continent, they are South Sudanese. Yeah, they know the reality at home, but when we are exactly there in South Sudan, it is a different story. Whether you're from Bor, whether you're from Barakazal, whether you're from Jongole, whether you're from Central Equatoria, the suffering is the same. Whether you're supporting the government, whether you're supporting the rebels, whether you're independent, the suffering is the same for our children. Where is the future of our children going? The other one is stop buying the guns. We have a lot of minerals, but our political leaders are deceived by international, we can say some foreign countries. They make guns for us, we buy the guns, we kill ourselves with the guns, we hate ourselves because one feels that he is the boss because he has the guns. And all these things created a lot of chaos in South Sudan. While we are fighting, they remove our minerals in all the ways possible. The guns we have to pay. The government buys the guns. They give the guns to the people, and these people clash among themselves. They kill themselves. When there is in a conflict within political parties, they kill themselves with the guns. So all these things, we try to advocate for peace by not allowing people to buy guns. Guns can be there, of course, for the country, but in a standardized way, not just in a way how it is done in the country. The other one is stop the corruption. Corruption in South Sudan is rampant. We can say, the people who are doing corruption are so and so and so and so. No, corruption in South Sudan, it is like diabetes with sugar. It started slowly, slowly, slowly. Now South Sudan has gone to the peak. We have heard recently that the central government has no money. This is one of the greatest problems. You see somebody having 2, 3 V8s using the money of the government, yet in his village, people are suffering. Yet people in South Sudan don't have schools, don't have hospitals, don't have a lot of things. Let us see the example of the coronavirus. We were not able to buy even 2 or 3 ventilators. Everything is donated. But those things that are donated, we are going to pay them later on. Whether we like it or not, we shall pay them directly or indirectly. So this is one of the objectives that we, as group of Pache Peace in South Sudan, we advocate the people to collaborate, to stop corruption, to be genuine with the resources that you have, to be divided by the people, whether you're from which part of South Sudan or which part of South Sudan. Because the suffering is for every South Sudanese. We have stopped tribalism. Tribalism had been there. Our relatives, or we can say our parents, they have put us in this mentality. Nuer don't like Dinka. Dinka don't like Bari. Bari don't like this. Toposa don't like this. And many tribes. Everyone blaming so and so. When today this one attack this one, they say this one are bad, we are the good. This one are not good, we are this. You know, it is a kind of like blame game. But we, as a group of Pache Peace in South Sudan, talks about unity and diversity. There is great joy in unity and diversity. Many European countries, they have different languages or dialects being spoken among themselves. But they are able to correlate among themselves, to coordinate and stay together with, in peace. So this is one of the things that we need to learn. This issue of fighting, we want power for this group, we want for this. No, we need a good leader who is able to unite the people, to put them together, and people move on with the mentality of peace. We have the idea of stop the injustice. Injustice have been rampant in South Sudan. People are not given their rights. Your relatives, your mother, your father, your sisters or what are killed, no justice. You are abused in the place of work, no justice. And many other things. This is not only happening in the country. Whether you're from Bahr el Ghazal, whether you're from Jongole, whether you're from Central Equatoria, Eastern, Western, a lot of injustice happened already, and it is still happening among ourselves. And this injustice can only be addressed by we the youth. If we the youth agree by saying we want to move together, we want to have justice. Do we have an organized court of law in South Sudan? These are the things that are lacking in the country. All the time we have been talking of we are still a young nation, and everything moves on like that. And then the last objective is to stop the refugee crisis. South Sudan has almost 4 million citizens who are outside the country, frustrated outside the country, because their houses are burned, their places are taken over by either the rebels or taken over by the government. So you see all these kind of things. It is a blame game. The government said the citizens are supporting the rebels. The rebels says the citizens are supporting the what? The rebels. So it is a kind of a game. And many people in Kakuma, in Uganda, in Sudan, in Ethiopia, in Central Africa, Congo, all this kind of thing. Until when are we going to be staying outside? Some of us were born in the refugee camps. Some of our parents grew up in the refugee camps. How long is UNHCR going to be supporting South Sudan by giving food, international aid, giving food to the country? Many people in the swampy areas in South Sudan, in the war areas in South Sudan, or even in the areas where there is no war, but because of the insecurity, they don't do agriculture. Everything is provided by the international body. These are genetically modified food carried to South Sudan all the time. South Sudan is feeding on these food items that are taken there. You know, in 5, 10 years, 15 years to come, the health of many South Sudanese will be affected. And this is one of our worry, our greatest worry. We escalate wars and wars, yet the feeding of the citizens is done by international bodies. We have fertile land, we have everything in South Sudan. So this is one of the objectives. Not only me, but the people who are not South Sudanese are concerned of this. They talk of the refugee crisis, citizens who are outside, and those who are IDPs, and those who are in their homeland, but they are still suffering. Whether you're from the place of the president, the place of the rebel leader, the place of the governor, the place of what and what, many South Sudanese are suffering. Don't look at all of us, some are driving V8 and driving what? It is a kind of misery that many South Sudanese are living below the poverty line. So with this, we also talk of stopping the child soldiers. Many children have been abducted and taken to be soldiers by either the rebels or by the government. And they have been suffering. We have many child soldiers. For example, Emmanuel Jal is one of the South Sudanese who talk about this. That is a good example. How we as youth are able to say no to supporting of any political leader who needs us to use guns to kill ourselves. You as a youth have a mentality of development, to think of something positive and leave the mentality of fighting. Fighting or killing your brother and your sister or your mother or your father or your relative is not the best option to go in life. The best option to go in life is to grow, to study, to have a good life, and to utilize the opportunity that you are given to make the country good for the generation to come. Many South Sudanese are outside the continent. We are good in creating social media network. A lot of discussion. Every community has its own discussion. If we are not serious, this discussion can tear us apart. But if we are good enough in analyzing issues, it will bring us together. My observation is that we are good in social media. A lot of insults in social media, insulting this tribe, insulting this. Yet, we have forgotten the main point of unity. We have forgotten the main point of developing South Sudan as a whole. We have forgotten the main point of moving and construct schools, hospitals, and all the basic needs for our people. Because it is affecting all South Sudan. Whether you're from which part of South Sudan, you're affected. So this is my appeal for all of us. So our main idea is, the positive aspect is to build schools, to build hospitals, to build roads, promote gender equality, promote agriculture in South Sudan. We have every fertile, land in South Sudan. It's good for agriculture, but the problem is the insecurity and many other things that we are not able. Technology. We invest our energy in fighting and doing all the sort of kind of things. And then to promote peace as our message. So these are the objectives that we have created, Pache Peace in South Sudan. Feel free to subscribe, to share this message. Feel free to like our page, Peace Pache in South Sudan. Thank you so much. On behalf of my group, Pache Peace in South Sudan, Stand Up for Peace in South Sudan is the title. Sbilettavi per la pace in South Sudan. Shukran lekum kulu. Grazie mille per voi tutti, i miei amici, amiche, questo gruppo Pace e Peace in Sud Sudan abbiamo creato per cercare un modo di trovare pace in Sud Sudan. Ci sono tanti sud sudanesi fuori, nei campi profughi a causa della guerra, non c'è le scuole, non c'è ospedali, ci sono tante cose che abbiamo mancato in Sud Sudan. Per questo abbiamo creato questo gruppo per cercare un modo per la pace in Sud Sudan. Per questo, per favore, condividere questo messaggio, fate subscription e poi fate anche un commento per noi. Per questo cerchiamo la pace insieme per i popoli di Sud Sudan. Grazie mille a voi.